Hello and good morning. Today's the 11th of September. Sad day, obviously an anniversary for 9/11, and obviously thoughts go with everyone who were affected on those at that terrible time. On my screen at the moment is the economic calendar for today. There's nothing of high importance, so we're just gonna go straight into 11. I know we've got some news coming out. Here we go. This is the important news for the week. So we've got the 13th, we've got core inflation. 14th, we've got PPI, retail sales, and the 15th, we've got the consumer sentiment. So these are numbers, days and times to keep an eye on this week. So looking at the MES, the 60-minute chart, we can see I drew in this this trend line, this channel quite early this morning. I've already broken it now in the pre-market, so we can ignore that, but it does help my levels, which I'm going to be looking at shortly. So we've put in this here inverse head and shoulders pattern with the neckline at 45.16, and an area I'm watching for is a pullback back down to this area for a potential long. So we are also in a change of trend now. We're putting in a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we're just putting this higher high, potentially a lower low there, and we're in the process of possibly putting in another higher high, and a potential target area would be around here, which is 45, 44, 45, 45 area. That's also will be coming into contact with the rising 200 moving average on the hourly. So potential rejection area. It's an area of confluence as well. We've got the bottoms of candles here and the tops of candles there, and coming back over here, the bottoms of candles as well. You can see it. So we've got the bottoms of candles there, confluence there, and potential 200 moving average. So it looks like it might be a good area to look for a rejection, but obviously go with confirmation. So I'll be looking for a reversal pattern, and then look for the breakdown or even a double top, and then or a lower high. So looking for a confirmation pattern to get in on that trade, and that'll be at 44, 45. So this is one of the areas I'm watching today. If we slowly grind up all day, and then I may think twice. I may be looking for a break and retest maybe, or continuation of the trend. But what I really want to do is try and find a continuation play with this trend. So I want to try and find a pullback maybe to 45.30, if we can come back down to there. And obviously I'm watching 45.16 area and come back down 45.10. So this is an area I'll be watching for the pullback down to here for a potential long. So that's 45.16 to 45.20, and obviously we've got this area here, but it's a weaker area. There's not much volume. If you look on the volume analysis, there's no volume over this area, so potentially we could see this run until we get up to here. That's when the volume kicks back in again, which you can see by this area of volume here. There's no point of control here because we've got heavier volume already down at this area here, which makes sense because it's the shoulder area where all the higher volume reversal candles were. So this is why we're seeing a bigger area of volume here. But I'm sure if I zoom out it may change. There you go. So potentially 45.70 to 45.60 is a natural area of resistance, and obviously this is when we saw this, and again head and shoulders kind of pattern forming on this hourly chart. So 45.61 is a potential resistance area, and that's probably got a higher probability than rejecting than this area. So we're only looking at a few minor areas. This is post and pre-market convolution there, confluence, and obviously the 200 moving average, it's kind of going sideways now. So to sum up, higher probability rejection will be at 45.60, Probably be using, yeah, so you can see on this area I've already drawn in, we've got the tops of this shoulder, or this tops of this area here, the bottoms here, bottoms, so then the support then becomes the ceiling, and obviously we've got the heavy concentrated volume. So potentially we could be looking, let's just put a line in around that area there, 45.70 through to 45.61. So this is an area I'm watching for a rejection, again only with confirmation. For bounces, so that's a higher probability rejection. This is a higher risk rejection. Again, it will have to be only with confirmation, and we're getting quite close to it now. So that's 45.45. And then finally, for a bounce, higher probability bounce would be this head area and these two shoulder areas. So if we can pull all the way back, we'll have to break down through this trend line as well before we can start looking at bounces. So those are 45.95 and 45.85 for potential bounces. Anything below this, then I'll do this live during the day, because you know probably won't get down that far, but we do get some big moving candles occasionally. So, and then just if we do break down through that, if we do break this area, it'll be a big move down. If we do, then probably not much until we get to this area, 45.70, and obviously the areas I've got marked up, this demand zone as well. Okay, so that's the MES. So I'm just going to quickly recap. Higher riskier bounce will be this level here, and even more riskier bounce at this level here. So 45.16, 45.30 are the two riskier bounce areas, but that will be continuing this trend up. So that will be both for confirmation. Higher risk rejection will be 45.45, and a better higher probability rejection will be up here at 45.61. Again, you need to be looking for a reversal, like a lower high or double top. And then we've got higher probability with bounce at 44.85 and possibly 45.95 area. 4,500 is also a nice round number, so that entire area could be a nice bounce area. And we've yet, even though we had this push down recently, we've yet really to be able to get through that 4,500 area. It tried to, and it's held it a few times, so potentially we could come back down and hold it again. Okay, moving over to SPY. Similar type of levels. We've got this head and shoulders area has two potential areas, and it's a higher area of volume as well. So potentially around here would be an area for a bounce. So probably at 444.50 as a potential bounce area, and then 443 area for a higher probability bounce. And then obviously continuation of trend. If we can pull back down into this area here, we might be nice to see a nice continuation of the trend. Again, we're putting in a higher high, high low, high high, low, high. I'm not sure whether you can call that a low. We might still be putting in the high now. Rejection wise, we've got this higher concentration of volume up here. So it's going to have to be 450 to 451 as a rejection. I've also got this area of confluence as well at 449.60. So we could see a bit of a hiccup when we get up to there. But we're looking for big bars moving up, and not little tiny bars where it's just grinding up all day. Because it's grinding up all day, then it's most likely just gonna hover around and continue going. But big moving bars generally will run out of steam before they get there, and then we'll be looking for the rejection back down. Higher risk rejection, I did originally have this, but we're getting close to it now, and it's probably got to it. So that 44.37, 448.37, 448.50 area. So potentially we're at that level now, so that's going to be higher risk. FQs. I'll just briefly go over these. We've got obviously this bottom here, which is around 370, 369.50 to 370. We've got the shoulders from this head and shoulders pattern, so 378 to 380 area as potential rejection, and we've got this area here which we're coming right into it now, just a high risk rejection. And looking at volume, the highest condensed volume was around 375 area as well. Zoom in a bit, see where the volume profile gives us. Yeah, kind of matches up with what we're looking at. So higher concentrated volume is around this area here as well, so we could see a bit of resistance if we do get up to around about this area, 378. And obviously continuation, because we're now putting in a new trend, so if we pull back down to 374, and then we could see a nice push up. Okay, and lastly, this is the NASDAQ. Similar to before, we've got this area, in fact we're coming close in under 200 moving average, so 15.6 to 15.7 area for rejection. High risk, we're getting close to it, but we do have this 200 moving average as well, so potentially we could see a bit of rejection. We could be coming into the rejection area soon. If we break through, then we could be looking for a break and retest long, but then we've got this area of concentrated volume around 15,700. And lastly, oil. Let's look at the daily first, because you can see we just had a few days going sideways. We talked about this, we're putting in this block up here, and we talked about this on the last pre-market video, and we've just been going between this range, and it looks pretty bullish, I think. And I think once the moving averages start catching up, we may see another move forward. So we are quite far away from the 8 moving average and the 20 moving average and the 50 moving average, and we may just see a little bit of a pullback, but these averages will generally need to catch up, and then we might continue the trend. So this is a potential swing play, but you know, I've had my eyes on this retest of this level for a few days now, so if we can come back down to this area, which is the 84 area, potentially that could be a nice retest of that last pivot. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for, and I don't think there's any play yet in the oil, unless it can break through, retest that area again and push up again. That's something I talked about on Friday as well, something I was watching. And I think that's it really. I'll go back to the MES because that's the one I focus all my time on, and these are my levels. So I'm going to be waiting for a retest of 45.30, but preferably this area here, 45.16. That's what I really want to get long, and then rejection at 45 area and 45.60 area. And if we do break it down to this area, we could be looking at longs 44.95 and 44.85, but you know, we've got to have a big red day to get down to that area. But you know, it's possible. We had that similar day there where I was looking for potential bounce up, and we just broke right through it. That was that on Thursday. So that's it. Okay, hopefully you got something out of this video. If you like it, please hit the like button, and look out for this daily video I do every day at 8 AM Eastern time. In fact, it's 9 AM Eastern time, and it's 2 PM British time. Okay, thanks for watching.